Good idea. I got subscribers. It would take me between 8 and 10 hours to walk from here to where I work. Let that sink in. I don't know. I make long audio files, audio notes, and I sent to friends, family, and somewhere along I don't know, yesterday or the day before, I sent my 22-minute audio file. And he was like, well, that was long, Polly. Anyway, so I sent one of those long audio files to my mother-in-law, her how I was tired and that I want to retire, and that I'm counting 8 years, and it's 8 years. She said, oh, no, it's a long time until you retire. I'm like, like heck it is. I've been working since I was 18, so I want to retire when I'm 62, if the government of Norway will allow it. Anyway, and I was telling her how tired I am and how horrible it is to have to walk from bus stop to bus stop. In the early morning, I could take a bus that goes up the hill where I take the bus to go to the main station in another town, where I take a bus to go to the town where I work. There isn't a bus at the time when I need to leave, so I have to walk up there. 15 minutes. It is another 10 to 15 minutes to walk between bus stops as I get to the other town. Then I have to walk from the bus stop up to the school. That's another 10 minutes. On the way home, I have the same thing. All in all, it's up to an hour that I have to walk. And it takes longer in the winter, especially when it's snowing and the ground is like wet. The ground is slippery. But it would take me between 8 and 10 hours if I were to walk from my house all the way to where I work. So that's an impossible task. And I never said I walked to work. So she sent me a message and she's like, oh, I didn't know that you had to walk to work. I must have misunderstood. I'm like, I must have sent a very long audio file and she got confused. But my life is for Norwegian people's standards, compared to how Norwegian people live, is pretty miserable. In terms of having to commute for 4 hours, the total time to and from, not being paid according to my education, being disrespected by people who don't regard me as a human being because I'm black. So that's something that no human being should have to endure. However, I have my family here. My husband and daughter, who are both Norwegian. They are Norwegian. They understand the culture. My daughter understands the fact that I'm a person of color and what I endure because she has seen it. She understands and validates me as a person of color. My husband, he thinks I'm playing the race card, or that I'm exaggerating. And most of the people in his family do not understand the extent of discrimination that I go through. I don't blame them because they're not black, so how are they gonna know? So I forgive them for not understanding, but I don't have support to the extent of having someone who understands me, always with me. And I can't come home and tell my husband that I was discriminated against at the bus stop. He doesn't understand that. He might say, oh, it was all in your head, or it wasn't because you were black, or what. So it's upsetting. So I wouldn't discuss this with him. And I think that's what my parents were talking about when initially they advised me as a young girl, as a teenager and as a young adult. They advised me, hey, you should find a black man with the same social status as you, with the same education as you. Not the exact same, but at the very least, somebody that had a college education like I do. Find somebody like that who is black, who will always understand you when you're discriminated against, who will never pull a racial slur against you in the middle of a fight, somebody that will understand you more. So that's what my parents were talking about. They weren't being racist, like, oh no, only black is good. No, they were protecting me against different types of abuse. Of course, my husband is not abusive. He's a good person. He's working every day these days. He is a fantastic father to my daughter. He's never pulled a racial slur against me, not even in the middle of a fight. So that never happened to me. But I understand what my parents are saying of understanding the person you're with. He does not understand this part of my life. He does not get it. So it's impossible for me to have certain conversations with him, and it will always be this way because he doesn't have the lived experience of a person of color to understand. So I understand my parents and what they meant. I really do. Now that they're gone, so it's probably too late, but I do understand what it meant. I love my husband. I found him, and I knew that he was somebody I could live with for the rest of my life. We had our ups and downs like every marriage. But throughout the ups and downs, he is still with me. Of course, who knows, like tomorrow, the next day, or next year, or the year after that, he might just be like, no, I want to be with somebody younger and prettier and who can cook and who is tidier than you. Whatever. But right now, we're still together. And it's been almost 30 years, so no regrets there. I have a fantastic daughter. So my channel right now is subscribers only. So for somebody to subscribe to somebody's channel, just to type a trolling statement, that is not just dumb, that is stupid. It is a waste of time, and I don't understand how people make it, what their logic is behind it. I am 53 years old. I have been thinking about my life now that it's been like I'm past the middle of my life. So those men, when I was in my 30s, that called me middle-aged, F you. I was not middle-aged then. I am now. And you're probably what? Approaching the stairway to heaven or hell. Who knows what you did. But men have this thing that unless you're young, you have no value as a woman. So, and the sad part of this whole thing is all of us are going to get old. All of us. So I think people should enjoy their youth. In the age of technology, don't do stupidity. Don't act with stupidity, because people will record you and your stupid mistakes will live forever. But do live a good life and enjoy your life. If you're a girl, you don't even have to be pretty when you're young, because that's how disgusting a lot of men are. And for other black men out there, you will find your person. It might not be as easy as it is for somebody who's white. A lot of the black guys are colorists or straight up race. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm very careful with saying a lot of or most of. I'm very careful with statements like that, because when you generalize too much, you run a risk of saying something that's utterly false. So a lot of black guys don't date black women. Not all of them, but a lot of them. That's probably the reason why I've had 3 serious relationships. One of them is the one I'm in right now, my husband of almost 30 years. And out of those 3 relationships, one was a black man. He was educated. He had a status in society as somebody with a good job. He had his own car. He was successful. But he was not my person. We had arguments all the time. He hated everything that I stood for. He made demeaning comments about the things that I loved. Not to mention some things that I'm never going to say out here. But yeah. Have a good day, Norway. Have a great rest of your day. Don't know if I'm going to be live cast more today. I live casted in the morning. Working, because teachers work all the time, every day. We do not have weekends off. We always have stuff to correct. So we do not have too much vacation time. We have the fair amount of days off in the summer, because we don't have any days off in the rest of the year. So if you want to subscribe, but watch other things that I've done, like interviews and different videos that I've done, language videos.